friends, here we go again. Today the stairs into the best indoor hall what you can imagine. 1, 2, bam! Here we are, no. We're outdoor. The stairs where we train normally, you know. The stairs to nowhere. Here I have my bicycle. Today I have my camera here and also the SD card. Last time it was missing, I couldn't film. Today we make it with the old catalogs which basketball existed 25 years ago. Maybe there are people who were not born at that time. To me, that time was even late because I come from the early 90s, you know. There I played, and so the 2000s, that was a late time to me, but for some of you maybe it is a time where you were not born. And so we check out the balls. We did this one time, but the catalogs were a few years after, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 I think, and now other. And you will be surprised which balls are in there, which were popular at that time. The coasts, you know, they were back in shilling, not euro, shilling, you know. That was the other thing. So I go on to the stone wall. No. So wait. Here I have them. We started with wait, I have to make it open with a catalog. And they were cool, you know why? Because they were completely different to nowadays, and I will show you why. Wait, bam. I make this other. I have to turn around. So, it is fresh, it is too cold, you know. So I make it other. We make it like this now, watch. The catalog is from the year 2000, that is good. You see that? 2000, and that was Intersport. These were by uns the shops where you could buy. They were not specialized for basketballs. These were normal sport shops, but good sport shops, you know, where you got a lot of things. And you see, alone the picture. At that time there were no tattoos, nothing. You will not find them, you know. The people were not tattooed, or very less people. When you watch now, we go a bit into it. You see bicycles, and when you watch the people, you will find no tattoos. That was completely other, you know. Home sport, you see, there the people bought the home things, and yeah, you see, complete other thing. You see, no tattoos. That was a cool time, you know. The beach volleyballs, and here it will come now. Watch, basketballs. Here we have it. First of all, you could buy the portable boards, the small boards, you know. And when you watch now, what? Or to the prices, this little board, the mini for the home, 99 euro. No, these were a shilling, you know. Back in the time, these were a shilling. Wait, I go to another perspective. Wait. So now we are closer. These were the shilling, you know. We had all the money than euro back then. But you see, in small terms, 7 euro 19, you know. The price under that was coming then. And here we have the balls. That was an Intersport rubber ball, 49 euro, 3 euro 56, you know. And the size 7 was 7 euro 19 or 99 shilling. Those balls still exist from Intersport, normal standard rubber balls, you know. Then we had the Pro Touch, they also still exist, you know. Was 249 shilling, 18 euro 10, you know. Also a rubber ball, nothing special. And here, that is a ball, read it, Wilson Jordan, you know, Jordan from Wilson. Can you imagine that? 14 euro 56, but the Jordan brand was Wilson official Air Jordan, you know. That was the thing back then, you know. Wilson ball Air Jordan. That was cool, or? Yeah, that is because, you know, then with Nike and those things, but that was Wilson, you know. And then also interesting, the Pro Touch balls that I told you last time. Wait, we go a bit, you see it? Wait, we make it here, it is better. And I can show you that in a bit better way. The Pro Touch was the NBA teams, you know, Los Angeles Lakers, Chicago Bulls from Pro Touch, you know. And it was not like today Wilson or Spalding, it was Pro Touch who had always the club balls, you know. And you got it, the size 7 for 11 euro 55. Can you imagine that? A real logo ball from the NBA for 11 euro. Can you imagine it? This is nowadays unthinkable, or those prices. And then we had the Pro Dutch composite ball for 43 euro, 599 shilling. And that ball looks pretty good here, you know, but I didn't have it. But so those were the companies, you know, of course they were spoiling and this and that, but only here in this catalog, and they were the biggest here by us, you find no Spalding ball, you know, no Molten ball. It was Pro Dutch and Wilson, you know, and their own company Intersport ball. And there they had the rules for street ball, you know, what it is. And these were the balls, you know, the competition Pro Dutch ball. And yeah, so that catalog you see. And then I have two other catalogs by me. So we closed it. Wait, we go one more. That you see a bit more the people back then. Complete other time, or such catalogs. You got all there, you know, the tennis rackets. This racket I know, you know, the Radical from Agassi. Serena Williams, you see Puma. That was really cool. The skates. Yeah, look, you see how much inline skates there were. Can you imagine it? Nowadays, here by us, you see, in one day or in 1 week, when I see one person roller skating, then it is much, you know. And back then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all different inline skates. You see that? All different inline skates. And again, different inline skates. And again, different inline skates. The K2 were legendary. The bearings, all for the skating style, you know, the protection. That is unbelievable, or? And again, here the stunt skates, Roger, Salomon, they had, you know. I had then a USD skate, here the Bauer for the inline hockey. Then you can imagine what inline skating was. And here skateboarding, but that was not that popular, you know. Inline skating was the biggest thing of all, you know. Everywhere you saw people inline skating, and nowadays it is boom. No one does it anymore, you know. Only the scooters. There were no scooters in, you know. Back then, wait, we go back, there was no scooter. You see? No scooter, no scooter. Yeah, that was the first catalog. And now I have the two others which we had the last time. They were more for companies, you know. Here we have it. The Sport und Spiel 2001, 2002. Wait, we make it other now. Those, wait, we pull on here. And also here you see there were no tattoos 2001 and 2. And they had a bit other things. They were more for big companies, for schools who buy a lot of numbers of the same product, you know. But I still had those, you know. And when we go a bit into, you see, oh, my tennis ball, you see, the famous tennis ball where I played, where I made the video 2003, and then last or 2 years ago. But this wall does not exist anymore, you know, at airport court. Wow, cool. You see the skateboard ramps, they built all those things. Well, here you see the fun courts. What I told you, if you are new to the channel, those were the legendary fun courts, where you see often written on fun court, you know. And there they built those stations, you know, called fun court. And the villages, the cities could choose what construction, how big it is, and what service they want, you know. And here you see where I told you always where you can go up, you see, where you can film. I showed you that at Ghetto Court, for example, you know, or Putzi Court, Pizzi Court, you know. There they also had it. You see, that was in the early 2000s. That was popular, you know. Yeah, and there are a lot of stuffs in, you know, for, you see, the school things, but then also the basketballs. And at that time, a lot more people bought things. You see, that I also had. You see, I made it in the Speed West for tennis playing. I bought, you know. And so you could buy all those things. Here what I bought also, you see here, I had the jump rope, yeah, for tennis playing to warm up. I bought, you know. These were the normal with no bearings. Nowadays you get the bearings. And Now we go to the basketballs. They are always in front. We check them out. Wait, now the football, you see? And now the basketballs. Where do we have them? They will come now. Wait. Where are they? Where are they? So here we have them. Wait. So we start with here with the basketball rings. You see? Here we have basketball rings, and there were the euro. Now they had the euro, you know, and the shilling also, but that was the other thing. Different versions, you know, which you could buy your schools or villages, you know, you see. And then also an extra side for the boards, you know, these were those big boards which we also have here, you know. Here the portable one costed 609 euro. And such a board, you know, 280. And here you had the acrylic glass, I don't know in English, you know. But you see all different things, you know, with the fader, I don't know in English, you know. And here you see still a fun cord. You see it on there, fun cord. I see that immediately, you know, because I was there at that time. And here I had the different rings, you know, tighter one, thinner ones, you know. You see it in millimeters, you know, 16, 19, 16, 25 millimeters. And here the aluminium, and there you got the different nets, you know. And here the normal net costed 15 euro, you know. And here you got the premium, the Rambo iron net, and that costed 44 euro. A net 44 euro, you know, the Rambo net. Then you cannot damage it, you know. And now the basketballs. Now be surprised what we have now in here. Two sides of basketballs. We started again here, the Pro Dutch club balls. You see Seattle Supersonics, doesn't exist anymore, Orlando Magic, Chicago Bulls, the Houston Rockets, New York Knicks, Phoenix Suns, Chicago Bulls. And now they costed here the champ, this you see 10 pieces when you take one piece, 15 euro, you know. That is best quality for a normal price, you know. And 15 euro for a club ball, wow, that is great, huh? And that is the ball which you still get, you know. It looks the same, Intersport ball, 4 euro, you know. 4 euro. And here a Nike ball, you see, 29 euro, you know, for a rubber ball. That is heavy, you know. That is really heavy. And here Wilson Superstar, you know, with the graphic of the superstars Michael Jordan and Grant Hill, you know, Detroit Pistons and Chicago Bulls. From Wilson, you see, Wilson. That is cool. And here we costed 15 euro only. Can you imagine it? 15 euro with a Jordan on with the logo, only 15 euro. Nowadays unthinkable. And here Wilson MVB costed 15 euro. The ball for professionals, you see, a rubber ball. But now it gets more interesting. Here we have a Sportastic ball, you know. They were also in there, 17 euro, a rubber ball. But now, an interesting thing is here, Wilson Solution, you know. Now we have the Evolution, there was the Solution ball. The sensational top ball from the USA, you can read here, costed 59 euro, you know. This is when you buy 3 pieces, then you get one for 49, but 59 the Wilson Solution ball. Then the Sportastic Gold, also a composite ball, you know, costed 39 euro. And now we have the Spalding balls, you know, the gold standard in the 90s. Here we have the Spalding NBA. You see, composite leather, and for indoor and outdoor made, you know, and costed 50 euro, exactly 50, you know. And there you see this, the new ball. And here, this ball is that what I had, you know, what I have now, but the newer version, can you imagine? And that is also 25 years almost old. The Spalding NBA official, but the official means the official. Here it is, official game ball, you see, 90 euro. But we will come later, I made a mistake now. The official Austrian basketball, you see, from our league. And they called it here the play ball from the NBA, you know. And that I cannot tell you if it is really, because they have written here real leather, you know. Real leather, and costed 90 euro. But I have the official indoor ball, you know. Here stands on official game ball, but I have the official indoor ball, and here they have the same things what they have written here, and I think it is in the next catalog 1 year later. We will check it out, you know. You have seen it now, and now we go to the other catalog. Wait. And I have collected it always and watched, you know. I ordered all catalogs. Back then there was no internet or shopping, or in very small dirhams, you know. Then 2002, 3, and that was 1, 2, you know. And so we go, you see the cap back like I have still, that was the dime back then, you know. And so we go to the, wait, we have to watch, yeah, it will be the same, or the fun courts, they were always back in. You see, so cool the pictures. There were no tattoos, you know. With the cappy back. Here the fun courts, yeah, the same pictures in, you know. But so we go to the basketballs. Wait. They were always in front. So football and the hockey, table tennis. And now, here, you see they have now, wait. If we make it. Other pictures for the construction. You see cobblestone. And then tell me, street ball rubber, you know. That was the dime street ball, you know. You see it here also on the pictures. And not those rubber things. So, here a fun court, you know. And yeah, but now, here you also could buy books, you know. And now, wait. So here the football is one side, bam, and here we have it. Now it gets more interesting. Here we have still the same, the Pro Dutch with the clubs, you know, the Sportastic ball, MVB Wilson, what we had. But now the Intersport, and now the last series, Molten, Wilson and Spalding. We start with the Molten. You see they had the normal constructions. I played my first Molten ball in 1995 indoor. I made a picture from that, you know. They had the normal construction, not like nowadays those other channel design. And that was the Molten DX7, you know. DBB geprüft, that means from German. It was geprüft, new, you know. 59 euro, the price from the Molten DX. And here we had the Molten FX, and that was also FIBA approved, not only from the DBB from Germany, costed 59 euro, the FX7. And then we have the Wilson Solution, you know, also 59. And now it gets interesting, because now they changed the balls from Spalding, and that is now the version what I have, what I told you before. You know it, you remember it, it was the official game ball, and now it is the official indoor ball. But first of all, here the official indoor-outdoor ball costed 69 euro. You know, the indoor-outdoor ball, composite leather, more expensive than the Wilson Solution and the Molten balls, you know. And then the NBA official, but now the official indoor ball, and not game, indoor. And that version I have. But I have a bit of other version than this, FIBA approved, and that ball costed 89 euro. And here you see the same thing, official Austrian basketball and the play ball of the NBA. And that is not true, you know, that ball they didn't use, what I know. And here you see now it is not on real leather, because that was composite leather, ZK composite leather. But in the newer catalogs they have also written in real leather, but it was composite leather, and it was not the official game ball, the official indoor ball, you know. Yeah, and then we have all balls, you know. That was back in the days. Of course you had more specialized shops, so when you had a magazine, owned basketball magazine, you know, I had the Basketball USA, where you bought, I think, over 10 euro for that magazine. The Basket magazine, the Slam magazine. Basket were the German, I think from 1995 they started. 4, 5 or 6, I think, with the magazine. I had every month you read in, you know, the things, and then later on the end one DVD, so VHS came out and you saw that in the catalogs. Boy, there you got the information what is going on, because there was no YouTube or things that didn't exist. And so that was our information about balls. But it was too pricey to get it, because back then you had one ball, and then they said when the ball is still playable, you play with this ball, you know, and you had 1 year the same ball, or 2, 3 years, 4 years, you know. And when Christmas or birthday was, then you had the opportunity. You get one ball because it were 1,000 shilling, you know. They were like nowadays, I don't know, 100 euro. That was the limit where you could buy something. And then you could choose, do I want only one ball in winter where I cannot play? Or do I want more other stuff? Then I choose more other stuff, you know. Then we played always the same ball. Yeah, and that it was. I hope you liked it from that nice spot. You have seen balls 25 years almost old. Yeah, and that it was. From here I say goodbye until to the next time. Bye and ciao.
And I always do it big because I can.